Hey everybody, Unstable Gamer here, and welcome back to another Marvel Strike Force video. In this video, we're going to take a look at the top 5 best defensive teams for Alliance Wars. Now what this is this going to be the top 3 and then 2 honorable mentions, because there are a couple alliances or a few alliances or teams that are just freaking dominating on the defensive team, and we're going to talk about that a little bit. But first, before we jump into that, if you're just now finding this channel and you want to stay up to date with this and other games, consider hitting that subscribe button so you don't miss out. All right, and welcome back. So I had a different video in mind for today, but I jumped into Alliance Wars and I got super frustrated with this one team. So I really, I changed up the type of video I wanted to make. I've been wanting to make this one here for a little while, so we're gonna go ahead and do that right now. So this is the top 5 defensive teams in Alliance Wars. Not that they are unbeatable, but they are freaking, they're frustrating. They're massively effective. So we're gonna talk about them a little bit. So the first honorable mention that I want to talk about is this hand team. My hand team is pretty low, but I've talked to quite a few people who have put hand or have gone against the hand on defense. And unless you really know kind of what to expect from this team, then it can be quite challenging. You've got the stealthing that hand sentry does. You got the healing there that goes on. Elektra and her massive damage that she pulls out. Nobu is an awesome hand character as well. He's got his summons, so it's more than just the 5. You've got 7, you've got 6, you've got whatever Nobu summons, and then the archer, he can just be irritating with his AoE attacks and stuff like that. So this team here is going to be my first honorable mention. Not that it's unbeatable, but definitely you want to make sure that you take the right team in to take them out and know what to expect from this team, because there is a lot of damage, there is stealthing, so there's a lot of dodging, there's heals in here. It's just, this team's got a lot going for them. So this is going to be my first honorable mention. My next team to talk about is going to be the Kree. So the Kree, they were a great team, a great rework that they did for the raids. Since then, though, I mean, you can take them into the raids. You can have a little bit of fun there, especially with the trait-specific nodes that you find in, like, Gamma that's currently going on. You can take the Kree in there. So we've got some good options for those. When it comes to Alliance Wars, this team is a little bit irritating to go up against as well, because Minerva, as you know, is an amazing character. I've got her in what I consider to be, like, the best raid team right now. But she's got her revive, she's got her heals, you've got the summons from Ronan. Oh my freaking gosh, my brain is like fried. It took me a minute to remember his name. And then you've got the other characters there as well, the Cyborg, the Guard, the Oracle, to help with additional heals and taunting and everything. So this can be a very irritating team to go up against in Alliance Wars. My biggest tip on this one is take Minerva out as quickly as possible. After her, take out Ronan there, and then everybody else seems to fall pretty well. Again, these teams here, these two teams are honorable mentions. They do very well. It's not that they can't be taken out. You just got to know where to hit when you go in on them, right? All right, so my top 3 teams, the top 3 teams that are just the most irritating to go up against in Alliance Wars. Now, these are defensive teams. I do have a video that's going to come out that focuses strictly on offensive teams, but this is defense. So you're not going to see some of the meta teams in here, you're not going to see the Brotherhood in here, because I feel that the Brotherhood is a better offensive team than they are a defensive team. And it's really, when you take a look at the difference between offense and defense, it really focuses on what can the computer, what can the AI do well, and what kind of abilities really need to be player controlled in order to be most effective. So this right here, those are the 2 honorable mentions. So let's go ahead and jump into the top 3. I am going to do these in order of least irritating to most irritating. All right, so let's go to the next one. All right, next is going to be the Brawler team. Now, this team here, you have Miles Morales that does the disrupts. You've got the defense downs from Spider-Man. You've got Wolverine in there. He's a kind of meh character, I know, But the main key to this one is every single attack that everybody does. Then you got Miss Marvel going in there to do assist because she assists hero brawlers, and that's the main key on this one. So that's why I don't have brawlers in here that are not heroes. You've got Deadpool in there that does some nice chaining, and then even when a taunt is up, does some massive damage to the lowest health that's out there. Miss Marvel, she heals herself, she gains a taunt to brings the focus to her away from her team. And it's just, I mean, the biggest key in this one is you want to take Miss Marvel down as quickly as possible and then work your way through the other ones. I'd go Miss Marvel and then Deadpool. Spider-Man definitely next. I think Miles and Wolverine are probably the last two to take down, but this can be an irritating team to go up against. They do very well in defense because the AI typically always launches the most powerful attack first, the most powerful attack that's available first, and then goes down the line from there. And any one of these attacks really isn't, it's not critical. None of them really has super critical attacks that have to be player choices in order to be most effective. I mean, Deadpool with his attack that allows him to attack the lowest health enemy on the team. I mean, that's an auto assist essentially right there. So this team does very well on defense. Definitely want to take Miss Marvel down first because you want to get rid of the taunt. You want to get rid of the assists. All right, so the next team is going to be this one. It's Guardians of the Galaxy. So this here, when it comes to the AI controlling the abilities here and always launching the most powerful, it really doesn't matter. This team obviously has a lot of power behind it. You've got Groot that was reworked to be more of a PvP type player than a raid character. So that works really well with his death proofs and his healing. You've got the massive damage that Rocket and Groot do together. You've got the massive damage of Gamora. You've got the constant taunting of Drax, and then Star-Lord. I mean, he does some amazing chaining. He does some massive damage with his ultimate. So I mean, this team really does burn through a lot of teams that I've noticed. Just in the short time that we've had Alliance Wars, this team is really irritating to go up against. So you definitely want to make sure that you have the right team to go up against this team. Again, these teams here, I deem as the best defensive teams in Alliance Wars, but it doesn't mean they can't be beat, especially if you take a stronger team in there to go ahead and wipe them out too. So this is team number 2. It does fantastic in there. I highly suggest having this team as a defensive team. And the number one most irritating team, and really made me say, all right, this is why I'm doing this video today, is the Defenders. Oh my gosh. These guys, I mean, it's in their freaking name, right? The Defenders. I mean, they've got everything. I mean, the counters alone are enough to freaking just drive you nuts. I tell you, it's making me a bit unstable, you know, and a little more than usual. But I mean, you've got the heals from freaking Iron Fist there. You've got the negative status effect clears of Jessica Jones. You've got the damage from Punisher. You got the damage from Daredevil. You've got the taunts and the death proofs and stuff like that from Luke Cage and his regenerations and defense ups. I mean, this team is just massive. There are so many times in war I've gone up against these teams, and so many people have them like 200,000+ team power, strongest team power, right? So their power levels are so freaking high. There's one guy who's got a 303k. I'm sure there's probably people out there who have more, but this one guy is defending a hangar with a 303k Defenders team that is really just driving me nuts. Because I mean, you need some massive firepower to go in there, knock out Iron Fist first. So the order here that I typically go is Iron Fist first, Punisher, or Jessica Jones. Now the reason for that is Jessica Jones has the negative status effects and things like that, and she can also clear positive status effects. So I just weigh, depending on the team that I'm using, what would be more beneficial for me. Typically, it will be Iron Fist, Punisher, then Jessica Jones, and then I'll take out Daredevil and Luke Cage. Luke Cage doesn't really do a massive amount of damage. He's just irritating with his taunt and all that stuff. So this team here is the number one most irritating team, and in my opinion, the best defensive team in Alliance Wars. I would not suggest using this team on an offense at all. I mean, you'll do very well, obviously, but this team really does thrive on defense in Alliance Wars. So there you go, everybody. That's what I had for you today. So my top 5 defensive teams for Alliance Wars. I have really the main 3, and then I have two honorable mentions. And I'm going to have the same thing for the offense video that's going to be coming out. I might be out tomorrow, might be out Tuesday. It's going to be one of those 2 days. But I'll have that coming out as well. It's going to be also be the 3 strongest and then 2 honorable mentions. So I'm curious what you have found to be the best team as far as your defensive teams. What are your thoughts about the list? I'd really like to hear about those. And as always, I truly appreciate you taking time to watch the video. If you liked it, make sure to hit that like button and share your thoughts and questions in the comments section below. Take care, everyone, and we'll talk to you next time.